way and see how that works. Good morning, kids. It's I, Grandfather Peter Coyote, coming to you once again from Crestone, Colorado, in the United States of America, on Turtle Island, on planet Earth. Man, we're just living high. About 8,000 feet high, I'd say. And the mountains behind us rising up to 14,000 plus feet. An amazing and awesome day to be alive, living here in the United States of America, that kingdom of God, you know. Guys, we just live too good. It's a real life, it's fun, and it's a pleasure to be here, even on a Memorial Day, a day that we remember the dead, you know what I mean? Shoot. That's heavy duty, you know. And it's like, you know, a lot of people have like, and I do too, a little mourning in our hearts for those that have gone before, you know. We feel the separation and the pain of that separation from the people we love. You know, I've lost a few troopers in my time, and I know you have too. You know, it happens. If you've gained a few years, it happens. People close to you go away, you know, and it don't seem like they'll ever come back. Yet, the energy of their life, when we remember them, if we can see through the grief and the mourning of separation, the energy of their life is still there with us. It lives in us, man. Their heart lives in our heart. We're together still, no matter whether we're a physical presence in this little movie reality or whether we're on the other side, you know. We're here. There's no real departure, you know. The dead live on through the living. And, you know, it's their experience that propels us forward. You know, and it gets pretty radical when you're a true searcher, when your heart is just on fire and you can't stop yourself from jumping, even when you know you shouldn't, you know, because you're on this path and you're bound and determined to figure it out before you frickin' die, you know, before death can come up and separate you from life. But you know, that invisible veil between the living and the dead, gosh, it's going away now. I mean, it won't be long again before the dead will be living, and you'll be able to more directly communicate with them, but we'll be living in a different realm, a different paradigm then, you know. Heck, the Bible, a lot of our old legends speak of a time when there'll be no death. You know, and we just think of it as a natural thing. You know, we think, you know, there's making love, there's babies, there's living, and then there's dying, you know. We think of it in those terms, as if that was natural, as if that was our real and true existence, and it's been that way forever, and it'll be that way forever. Well, friends, I mean, you know, genetic research is already going in some odd directions, and test tube babies are a reality. I mean, babies, this ain't natural. All the pain and grief, you know, our mothers go through just to get us birthed here, you know. A life, a living on the edge experience for every female that dares to have a baby, and most of them do. I mean, think about it, man. That's tough. That's rough. Not to mention the child. No, I'm sure it's nice to be inside your mother's womb, and if you've never seen one of those sonographic photos of a fetus floating around in there, baby, you should. It's an amazing and beautiful thing, you know. But at the same time, maybe that's just a suggestion of our natural state. You see, if we can conceive of death being removed from us, then I think we can reconceive the way that we come into being. I mean, perhaps we're already there, all of us. And there's no need for birthing anymore, because as we close the gap between us, the living and the dead, we become the living. And there's no division. we're always there. So time in a way ceases to be because the old cycle doesn't go round and round in this big old circle like we think it's been doing all these years. Now it's an increase in our experience. It just keeps flying upwards. You know? We're not doomed to anything. And as our consciousness increases and we see through the veil and we begin to live in the other dimensions, the living are all of us and we walk together. I mean, this is the real family reunion we're looking forward to. You know, the day that mourning ceases, the morning that mourning is gone. And we no longer have to live in that form of sadness. You know, because they're with us. We're with them. It's all one big happy family, all one big happy world, and it expands way out, the big old happy family through the stars. And the universe is beyond this one. There's plenty of them. We're the natural alternative universe, actually. But that's another story for another day. The further out your mind goes in this, the further you can allow your consciousness to expand, the broader the spectrum gets. Yet when you go down into infinitesimal, the small, how many universes do you think there are in your thumbnail? I mean, it's almost more than the human mind can take to try to imagine this, to understand this. The multidimensional diversity, direction, the vastness of multidimensionality. Yet, that's where we're living. And we're coming into this in increasing steps. There's frequencies being unleashed here that no one can stop. Don't worry about the conspiracy boys and girls. Hell, for all intents and purposes, they're out of business, even though we still see their chemtrails in the sky and, you know, all their nastiness going on. Notice how it's been kind of contained. They had some big plans for us about right now for some really huge illusionary disasters, but that didn't happen. We're free of that now, babies. Just got to realize it and go through the finishing stages of it, you know. And in fact, I think we're about to let go of the whole dang money paradigm anyway. I mean, you know, a lot of you panic when you hear that kind of talk, but listen, it's consciousness. As people's vision increases and they are able to see, and everybody is doing this, from the dumbest, the lowest, to the highest, most intelligent, brightest being you can imagine in human form. We're all going through this, and we're all on the same level. Some can see a little more than others right now, yeah, but we're all on the same level. There's no division between us. That's the illusion. So we're moving forward in these steps. And yeah, there are some that are leaders and some that are followers. Bullshit! We're in this together. If one person can make this step, then everybody has. That's just how it works. It's the natural magnetism of being alive and being interconnected one with another. Babies, we're moving into a new paradigm. We ain't going to have to cling on to one another anymore. We're not going to have to feel alone and undivided. Yet we can still be our person, but we can be the person. We won't feel fragmented and divided. We won't have a devil sitting on this shoulder and an angel sitting on this one. I got angels all over, but there's, well, devils are angels too, and they're beginning to realize that as well. You know, we're seeing through the entirety of the illusion, and that part's severely included. Because we're here to take them with us as we go, those that have been of the darker persuasion. They're angels too. And they're not fallen angels. That's crap. They're living angels, baby. And we're bringing them back to life. You know, we've all chosen to experience this aloneness together, as strange as that may seem. When you think about it, it's crazy, but we are doing it, and here we are. So this is a good day to be happy for those that are dead as well as those that are living. Because, honeys, we're going to be in each other's arms real soon. It's natural progression. I was watching this video this morning, Wooden Ships, that, you know, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. What a rocking song. That's a good one. I might even throw it on here. But anyway, the video had pictures of the Woodstock 69, 70, you know. And I could feel all of that energy that was happening then. As childlike beings making a humble beginning. And I wasn't right there at Woodstock, but I was in that generation, and I was a part of it in another way. But man alive, it put tears in my eyes. We've come a long way, babies, and we don't have much farther to go. So grit your teeth and hang on. Feel the energy of this. The flowing heart. It's coming through you now, babies. We are rocking into a new reality. There's no two ways about it. Just hang on to your green jeans and survive for a while. Get through whatever torment you got to get through. If it's there, it may not be there for everybody, but a lot of us are finishing with torments. Don't be afraid. Step right into them. Man, whatever has been bugging you since the day you were born, etc., or not too long thereafter, whatever it is, step right into it. But do so with this love alive in your heart. And baby, you will be amazed at the result. The darkest thing in your life becomes one of its brighter moments. You understand things in a whole new way, and a whole new level. And it's impossible to convey this with words, yet energy flows through these words and through this little video, and you begin to get it. I got it. We're getting it together. You know, it's a natural flow, a beautiful stream of life, consciousness. You see how this works? We flow together, babies. And we are some of the rockinest sons of bitches ever walked any planet. Because we were able to endure it and get through it. And man, my compliments to the darkness for the harshness that they've been able to endure. You can't imagine. Well, I guess you can, because it's in all of us. But the depth of the darkness and the depravity in that, you know, it's such a strange thing to feel anti-anything, but to be anti-life, to feel so alone and separate from it that you just want to kill everything you see. Now that's a pretty sad state of being, man. Only the strongest could survive it. So now as we bring them back to life and they begin to remember who the heck they really are, and it's a part of us. So when I say they, I mean us, because they're in us. We've been let them invade. We've let them come. But you know what? That's another illusion. Goodness. It wasn't an invasion at all. It was a separation that took place inside of ourselves. A conception of division came into us. That was the invasion. And we became divided inside. Like we were two separate persons inside of a body. Like, what in the hell is this all about? Well, we found out, didn't we? But that's what it is. And we look at them as entities and stuff. Babies, you better be examining what's going on inside here. Your worst enemy might be your best friend right there inside of you. And maybe part of becoming conscious in this heart is to see through the illusion of this division that's been pressed into us. And boy, it was pressed like... I can remember that. It was a painful day, man. It was a long frickin' time ago. But time itself now becomes irrelevant. Irrelevant. Man, forgive me for stumbling on my words, but I'm on fire. In a slow, glowing sort of way. Babies, we did it. We've arrived at the point where we wanted to be. The fulcrum is swung in our direction. The mass consciousness has enlightened to the point where all things become not only possible, it all becomes our reality. The age of peace is the age of truth. And it's begun now there inside of you. Each and every one of you. Living across the face of the earth, inside of her and outside of her too. It spreads like a wildfire. And it's only the beginning of a rather long journey back into the realm of our one true heart. Stages and steps, babies. We're taking it. Oh, and if you haven't heard about the Crestone Intergalactic Gathering on June 28th through July 1 of this year, 2012, well, it's just a humble beginning too, but you ought to be there. Look up the information on that. I've pitched it a little too much here. But I want you, those of good heart, feel your heart calling. Feel what this means to you. And know, yeah, it's the return of the bird tribes, baby. It really, honestly, and truthfully is. We're awakening to that powerful ingredient inside of ourselves that brings it all back together. And that's the major truth on this Memorial Day. You begin to feel it and live it now. It's as real as you can imagine it to be. And it's a potent force inside. And it's going to set you free. You won't know heartache and pain much longer. Your day, your journey with that, our journey with that, is pretty much over. There's a little house cleaning to do. Just be willing. Step right through. You're strong enough or you wouldn't be here now even listening or watching this little video. You've made it. You've made it as far as you needed to go. Now take the finishing steps and begin. Come home to your heart. Feel what's inside. Love what you are in the entirety of your presence. And see why you can. The fight inside of yourself. The struggle between good and evil, for Christ's sake, is over. Let it be. And be who you are. Settle into this peacefully now. It's going to hurt just a little while longer. Settle into it peacefully. Walk right through the pain. And it's over. And you are a powerful being of love. Meant to be here in this time, this place. We are the generation of love. This world is so long awaited. All of us that are alive now, without exception. We're that humble truth beginning itself again in the form of human beings, baby. It don't get much better than this. Some of you might think I'm a lunatic. Give it 5 minutes, baby. Let's see what happens. I'm crazy with the truth, man. Just like you are. And it's a pleasure to be alive on this fine Memorial Day here in the United States of America. Oh, man. Guys, don't worry. The political machine, its day's over. Won't be needing this stuff much longer. Just hang on. Just hang on. Do what you got to do. Stay where you got to stay. Be what you got to be. You know, I mean, step forward when you have to, but there's not too many steps awaiting you. Just stay in this vibe and be in this tribe. You rock. And Grandpa loves you like only a grandfather can. And I want you to know we're surrounded by the energy of the Divine Feminine. And it fills my heart every moment I do one of these videos. That this division between masculine and feminine that we've been feeling so long, and that has torn us so apart and made us kind of psychotic with one another. The truth of that has arisen too, and it's inside of you. And it's going to be a little bit difficult to face. But you're up to it. And that's all I'm going to say about that right now. There'll be a whole video of it here pretty soon, but we're going to wait till another couple of steps in consciousness occur. And then we'll be there in that one too. Babies, you rock, you know that. No matter where you are, what's been done to you, and who's been doing it, or you've been doing it, it don't matter. Let it go. Be done with it now. And feel the stillness in your heart, the beauty, the truthful wonder of the presence within your being. And that's powerful, babies. That's living. And no challenge can take you away from it. Because you found essential peace and truth right there inside of yourself. In the presence of your humble heart. I don't care how arrogant you've been. It's a humble heart. Relax into it now. Let the rest of it go. The presence of the divine dream is in everyone that dreams it. And it's an infection that spreads like wildfire. Babies, I love you so much. May your heart open wide and accept the rule of its reunion with itself. As all persons gather inside and become who we are. Rock and roll, babies. See you next time.